Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Yay!
Yay!
We're back again for another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation with me, Montalban, and my co-host, Mazza McBob.
Hola.
How are you doing, Mazza McBob?
Good, thank you.
You're getting into the stream and making sure you've ticked that like button.
Yes, I have already done so because I'm a good girl.
You're a good girl.
Trailblazers on Stu Plum, Mickey, Andrew, golly.
Wow. We have a... Karen's off on the piste.
Oh, is she?
I mean, yeah. she's off on the slopes, getting some snow. So, yes. So she won't be here tonight, but we've got a good strong house in this evening. Mickey did make us chuckle with his. He's off to get a quick cuppa to keep his honour intact, because tonight's all about honour tonight. Hi, Trailblazer. Yes, you're going to go off to pick Joe up shortly. Well, thank you for popping along and saying hello. Really appreciate it. Hi, Andrew. I hope you've had a lovely week, along with everybody else in chat. Yeah. How was your week, Maz?
Yeah, Andrew says Jolan True. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but wasn't hello something like Nook Nech or something? No, is that wrong?
Nook Nech. That was.
Majram was goodbye.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Nook Nech was hello. That was Nook Nech. True.
So Stu Plum saying, did you know about Star Trek on Netflix? So
yes,
this is about the fact that it's saying that Star Trek's going to leave Netflix at the beginning of April. But I was trying to look this up earlier, and it was saying things like Voyager and Discovery have already left, and TNG is the second last one to leave, and things like that. And I was looking at it, and the things it says have already gone have not already gone. So I've got a feeling that that might be about the US version of Netflix. And
it is.
Monty Baum, you were doing a bit of looking, and you think that it is the US version, but TNG may well be leaving the international Netflix sometime around summer, but they haven't announced the date yet. So whilst we may have a bit longer than we in Panic Today thought we might have, it does look like TNG on Netflix is finite.
It is coming to an end. It's all going over to Paramount Plus once Paramount Plus launches in the summer. So,
which is a bit of a bummer.
Leaving the US in April and us at some point in the short future. Yeah. So, yeah.
Monty Ban has it all on DVD box set.
I do have it all on DVD. I haven't got the Blu-rays, but I've got it on DVD, so I'm all right, Jack. It's everybody else.
Yeah, I could see some potentially expensive purchases on Prime Video in my future.
Yeah, as Mickey says, that's a bit naff. Yes, I looked it up, and Andrew is right. That is the hello greeting in Romulan.
Oh,
yes,
cool.
Yes, we're multicultural on this stream.
What is it? Was Nook Neck or was that a dagger?
No, Nook Neck was hello.
Oh, it is hello.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, well, at least I remembered that.
Yeah, Nook Neck was hello.
Cool.
The dagger was Dukta. So
Dukta. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yes, you have to get it. We have to get it.
Saying 3 streams a week.
3 streams a week to get it all in before the summer.
Them. Yeah, that's a good point.
oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe we could
says watch on dodgy Amazon Fire Sticks.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that, Mickey.
No, we don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah, but
good ideas though. Keep the creative ideas coming.
It's sail the high seas, or if you have Netflix, swap Netflix out, leave Netflix, get get Paramount Plus for a few months and get the Paramount shows in, binge watch them, and then swap over to some other platform. Yeah, there's options. We'll figure it out when we get there. It is a bit annoying. It is a bit annoying.
It's a bummer.
We joked that all these streaming platforms are just like they're like separate channels, and what they need is some sort of device to manage all these channels in order, so you can then flick through the different channels.
For a discounted price, we'll give you access to all these different streaming platforms.
Yeah.
It's just mental.
It's mental. Anyway. So tonight we're here to talk about season 3 episode Sins of a Father.
Or as Ludacris put on Facebook, Sins of a Farter.
Yeah.
Muppet.
Well, that was very
ludicrous.
Very ludicrous of him, wasn't it? Who wants to see the trailer?
Yeah, go on then.
Should we have a little look at the trailer?
Yeah. At least this time, if he does that whole, this is going to be action. It's not just like pictures of lol. It would be actual like Klingons and people hitting people and stuff. Should be better.
Next time on Star Trek, The Next Generation.
You are a traitor.
Worf is accused of treason and faces a Klingon death penalty.
It is a good day to die.
His enemies are hiding the truth that could free him.
You will not execute a member of my crew.
Now, Captain Picard must risk his life to defend Worf's innocence on Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Star Trek, The Next Generation. Oh, didn't mean to click that. Stop it. I don't know what I've just clicked on.
Random. Square peg, round hole. Square peg, round hole.
Stop. There we go.
I love a bit of random content.
Yeah, it was a magic trick, I think. But we don't want to be watching that. It's probably copyrighted and things. Yes, there we go. At least that was a slightly better, more interesting trailer than the one from last week, wasn't it? There was fight scenes and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Fisticuffs and very, very drama.
Yeah.
Very drama.
It was a very drama episode.
It was a very drama
Very
episode.
exciting, very actiony episode.
Right, shall we start off with them?
Yeah, why not?
So we're here talking about episode 17 of season 3. We're making our way through it. Not in time for it to disappear, but there we go. Production number 40273-165. It first aired on the 19th of March, 1990. And it's the 64th to be produced and released out of the 176 episodes. The synopsis goes, Worf is plunged headfirst into politics of the Klingon Empire when his deceased father is accused of treason. The story's by Drew Dahan, and it's her first of 2 writing credits, the second one being Reunion in Season 4. The teleplay's by Ronald D. Moore and W. Reed Moran. Ronald's fourth, after his last one was Yesterday's Enterprise, and it's W. Reed's only TNG writing credit he has. It's directed by Les Lando, who's a prolific Star Trek director, and this is his 6th episode he's directed, his last one being Deja Q. Was there any controversies or anything about the writers or anything on this episode, Maz? Do you know?
I wouldn't say controversy. I must admit, when I read the name Drew Dahan, I hadn't thought that it might have been a female. But yes, could well be. Yeah, I mean, it originally started as 2 different scripts. I don't know if you know that. One by Drew that featured Worf's father being accused of treason, and another by Beth Woods in which Worf's brother came aboard. So Ronald D. Moore was given the scripts by Michael Piller and asked to kind of merge them together. at the time, he didn't really have that much experience for writing for television. So there was another person, W. Reed Moran, I don't really recognize that name, asked to sort of step in and help with the process. But then I think later on, Ronald D. Moore kind of became like the Klingon teleplay expert person, like did a lot of the Klingon arcs. But Moore really loved this episode. And the fact that, Worf takes it on the chin and such like. And this episode also won like Emmy Awards and things like that. So, they're all pretty proud of it. I think it went down quite well. So, yeah.
It's a good point by Andrew. A human in his late 50s fighting a Klingon. That was particularly brave in the trailer there. This is true. Yeah. And Trailblazer thinks we should play the next trailer of the next episode at the end of each stream, which is
that's
a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
I might take you up on that one.
Yeah, great
and
idea.
Also, for those that are interested, today I am drinking white wine. I have a Kakapoo. It's actually a wine. It's called Kakapoo. It's a flightless bird from New Zealand. There you go, Kakapoo.
And I am drinking a red cold brass monkey.
Yeah.
All the animals.
All the animals in our wines. Yeah. So there you go. So the teaser. I'm doing the questions this evening, by the way. So get ready, strap in. I'm gonna be pretty mean this evening. Ooh. Although hilarious. It's quite hilarious. I don't know. It's like Stu Plum's clairvoyant or in my office or something. That's just funny. So let's get in with it. The teaser. From the captain's log, we learn that as part of the officer exchange program, the Enterprise is getting a Klingon officer. This is a bit like how Riker served on the Klingon bird of prey. But what was the Klingon bird of prey called? And that is question number 1. So yeah, you see, straight in there with a question. That's how tonight's going to go. Ooh. So I'll carry on, and we'll come back and see what answers we've got in a moment.
Yeah.
In a walk and talk scene in a corridor with Picard and Riker, Picard explains that the Klingon Commander Kern must be afforded all the rights of a first officer on this ship, and Riker agrees it wouldn't be a good idea to patronize a Klingon. Picard says that Kern requested the Enterprise specifically, but what Klingon wouldn't specifically request the Federation flagship? If you're going to have to go and serve on another ship, you're going to request the flagship. They're all going to request the Enterprise, aren't they?
You would think.
It's not really a surprise, is it? Kern beams on board in the transporter room and instantly relieves Riker of his position and gets straight on with his duties on the bridge. On the bridge, he addresses the bridge crew and tells them that he will be addressed as Commander or Sir, and intends to enforce a type of discipline they're not necessarily used to. With Picard's permission, of course, which Picard gives. Whilst giving the speech, Wes is chatting with Data, so Kern disciplines him, where he kind of tells him to shut up. He tells Picard his crew are ready and waiting his command. Picard gives him the go-ahead to take the Enterprise to the outer cometary cloud, and it's funny then watching Kern sit in Riker's seat on the bridge, because he's like, how do I sit in this comfy little chair? And you can tell he's like, he doesn't approve of anything on the Enterprise. Kern angrily orders Wes to set course with the cue, execute. And the crew are generally surprised by Kern's harsh methods. That was the teaser. Let's see what answers we've got in chat. Now,
So, for those who are aware, this was Tony Todd's first appearance as Kern, and
Tony
first
Todd.
appearance. I think it was his first appearance on Star Trek at all, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he played Kern again in Redemption, Redemption 2, Sons of Mogh on Deep Space Nine, but
Yep.
also Tony Todd plays other characters, like he played
Yep.
the older Jake Sisko in.
Is one of his best
Can't
roles, I
remember
think.
what episode that was. But yeah, he's really great. I mean, he always brings such gravitas to the roles that he plays, I think. I mean, his voice is excellent, and
And yet,
yeah.
when he played Jake,
Mm-hmm.
he brought a lightness to his performance that I was really surprised by.
He's a great actor.
It was like an old Jake. He just seemed so much like him. It was really strange. Really, really good actor. I love that episode as well.
Yeah, that's an amazing episode. So that was really great, sort of seeing him. I think he does bring a lot of presence on screen. And they were saying that, sometimes bringing in a family member of a character or whatever, it's people might like them or hate them. It's always a bit dodgy to do that. But they said, he just as soon as he sort of stepped on the set, they knew that they'd made a great choice. So that's really cool. And Michael Dorn names this, as well as Drumhead, as his 2 favorite episodes of TNG.
All right. Here we go. Mickey cannot remember, but he's taken it like a champ. So we got Pach, IKS Pach. It's definitely he's got the whole the letters in there and everything. Stu Plum answered way before I actually asked the question. Somehow, I don't know how he did that.
I think he might have just been saying one of the only Klingon words he knew. Oh no, that's gach.
Gach. I think he was trying to say gach, but ended up saying the name of the ship.
And is that not the one that Riker went on to then?
Yes, the Pach.
Yeah, so that's Riker went on to IKS Pach and other events from A Matter of Honor. Yeah.
So do I give Stu Plum the point? Or can you keep the points for me? Can you write the points down?
Okay then.
20 points. Should we give Stu Plum the 20 points? What do we say in chat? Does Stu Plum deserve the 20 points or no? I want to know your guys' opinions on that one. But definitely for G Star and Andrew, they both get 20 points each. 20 TNG points.
20 points. Jury's out on Stu Plum. Mickey didn't know.
Mickey says, "Yeah, give him the points."
Yeah, give him the points.
Yeah.
He is 70-something,
Oh, he is. Yes.
And apparently psychic.
He is psychic. He can see the future. Yeah. It's incredible.
It's called telepathy.
Yep. Yep. Smiler says always. So yes, all right. We'll give Stu Plum the points. Well done, Stu Plum.
Is Pach? No. He was saying Pach to 3 episodes a week, which was no.
Have we done no?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think we've done no.
How is that? How did you know
How does he know? How did he know that?
How did he know?
I don't know. I got to look that up now. Is that?
Well, he gets the points for the telepathy anyway, right?
Yeah. Let's try no then. What does no say? What does it come up? Translate. Coal.
Oh.
QO. No, it's not pack.
Less.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, Act 1. Was there anything else about the first the teaser of note?
Who knows?
Goofs,
I've got
anything?
4 pages.
Yeah.
I've gone through a few on the first page, but I'll pick up some other bits later. You can continue for now.
Right. Cool. Okie dokie. In 10 forward, Riker joins Wes for a moaning session about their new commander. Geordi enters and joins in. As engineering are now pulling a double shift to prepare for the next inspection, Geordi notes he is being harsh on everyone except the one guy that would take it. Worf. We cut to Worf on the bridge, who's scanning the area for Kern, When he gives his report, Kern's like, "Very good, Mr. Worf. You handled your task very well."
It's like the
Worf.
essence of patronising.
Yeah, Worf goes to square up against him, but thinks better of it. And you can see Kern's distaste for Worf in his eyes. He's just sort of staring at him like, "You disgust me." Later, Riker bumps into Kern in the turbo lift as they're heading to the captain's mess. Riker offers up his services to help him integrate into the crew, as, you know, this is not a Klingon ship. Kern's like, "No, Commander, it is not, for if it was, I would have killed you already." Which is nice. In the observation lounge, captain's mess, Picard's throwing a dinner in Kern's honour. At the buffet, Kern wants to know how long the bird's been dead, as it looks like it's been in the sun for a while. It's taken him a while to get used to the idea of cooked food. Beverly offers him some caviar, but he finds the odour unpalatable. Picard explains it's from his own special reserve, so Kern thanks him and smears it on his dead bird.
You'd think that they would like something like caviar, to be fair.
Oh, G-Star is right. G-Star, you...
Oh, pictures.
Yes.
Pictures.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
He
There you
doesn't want
go.
to look at our beautiful faces. That's the thing.
There's the Enterprise. There's
Yay.
Kern. Kern sitting uncomfortably in Riker's chair.
Do you know, I thought Riker was looking quite skinny in this episode.
Ah,
Look a bit on the slender side when he was sort of walking about. I'm used to him sort of looking like he's filling his uniform out a little bit, but he didn't so much in this episode.
he was looking generally confused for most of the episode in the background. As Kern was doing his role, he was kind of like looking to the crew and looking to Picard, generally confused by it all. There's the lovely Wes moaning about Kern in 10 Forward. And there's Kern telling Riker that he would have killed him by now. Yeah. And we probably can go to the buffet. There's Picard cutting up the dead bird. And Beverly holding a plate of caviar. Sorry about that, missing the pictures off. Doing half a job as normal. Yes.
There's some people in sort of goofs or whatever saying if that was replicated bird, like why would they put bones and things in it? But I mean, I guess they would try and replicate it to be as real as possible. However, I would say when it sort of was started as a, you know, on the bird and then zoomed out, it looked like there was like pink bloody bits in it and stuff. It didn't really look quite cooked properly to me.
Well, you can see
if
the...
it was replicated, I
pink
really
bits,
don't
yeah.
think it would have been quite that accurately replicated.
No, there's like a salmon here as well, like lying on the...
Yeah.
But I always laugh that whenever you see a buffet in TNG, half of the buffet is always flowers.
Flowers, yeah. I'm pretty sure Karen picks
Weird
up a
looking
massive flower and
things.
shoves it on his plate, doesn't he?
He does.
He's
I
like
presume
trying to eat
they're edible. I
I don't know. He's trying to eat a rose at one point and then spits it out and says, like, you know, this food ain't great. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, nobody's told him he's not supposed to eat the
It's not
roses.
supposed to eat them.
They just sit there and
You're-
watch him do it. I mean,
You're eating the decorations. You crazy commander. Oh, dear. Yeah.
and it seems strange that, like, when Will went onto the Klingon ship, he did a lot of studying up on their food and stuff and actually practiced eating their food. So although Kern said, "Oh, yes, I've heard you cook your meat. Yeah, it'd be good to try that." You would have thought, seeing as he was so prepared and so studied up on all of, you know, everybody, all of their resumes, all sort of Starfleet protocols, you would have thought he would have studied up a bit on their food. But yeah, obviously a bright spot for him.
He's as we'll learn, he's not really there for the purpose he's supposed to be there for. So he's
No.
probably not done his due diligence as he should have done. He has ulterior motives.
Yes.
So at the table, Troy asks him if he's adjusting, and Kern admits he's having trouble working within the constraints imposed. For example, a short while ago, he had to stop himself from killing Commander Riker. Troy finds that hilarious. I noticed a prop in this scene when they're at the table that relates to Deja Q and Manhunt.
Would
But
that be
what is the prop?
Oh, is that the question?
That's question number 2.
Oh, right. I nearly answered it.
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. So I noticed a prop when they were sat around the table that they were all using, and it relates to Deja Q and Manhunt, those 2 episodes. But what is the prop?
I know.
Yes. That's question number 2. Riker confirms that Kern has the crew on their toes. Geordi agrees. But then, but don't kill me. Because he sat next to Kern. He's like, yes, you're right. Oh, don't kill me. Kern tells him he'll never kill at the supper table. So that's reassuring. Yeah, he spits his food out, the rose that he was trying to eat, and tells the crew their food is too bland for the stomach of a Klingon, once again demonstrating his distaste for Worf. Worf just takes it, but later visits Kern in his quarters. He confronts him and asks why he dishonors him at every opportunity. Kern initially denies it, but then insults Worf a little bit more, telling him maybe his blood has thinned in this cozy Federation environment. Worf turns over a chair and roars, "I am Klingon!" Kern says that's the response I would expect from my older brother.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yep, and that's the end of Act 1.
When they're at the table there and they sort of first start chatting, I think Deanna says, like, how's it going or something? Are you having trouble adjusting? And he's like, oh, well, it's not too bad. I mean, I nearly killed your Riker like 5 minutes ago, but other than that, it's fine. And she kind of laughs, like thinking, oh, that's funny. And then obviously realizes it's probably not actually a joke. But knowing that Klingons do actually have quite a sense of humor, it probably was a joke, to be fair.
It was, yeah. He wasn't really going to kill him.
But she wasn't like, it's like, she probably laughed though. And then like, it sort of was like, oh, is that true? I just thought it was like a nice little exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. I did say that exchange.
Oh, did you? Sorry. Oh. It's difficult when you're reading, trying to listen and read at the same time.
Yeah. But it was funny when I said it, and it was just as funny when you said it. It was funny twice. Right, so before we get on with Act 2, was there any goofs or anything that you noticed in this act?
Not specifically goofs.
I mentioned the fact that this is the observation lounge.
Yes.
With the wall of modelled starships missing. And they put little cupboards over the view screens at each end. You can see like a little white cupboard. It's like a little bedroom. A little like IKEA-like bedroom cupboard they just put in front of each screen.
Yeah, I mean, not sort of goofs per se. Apparently there were some people who were saying at some point that they thought that the Klingon dialogue was gibberish, but of course it's not. It all came from Mark Okrand's Klingon dictionary. I was wondering, I didn't actually look this up, but I was wondering about the origination of that dictionary. At what point in the sort of Star Trek timeline was the dictionary kind of written? I'm guessing it would have been around like the original. No, it wouldn't have been original series. Maybe
Star Trek
early
3
films. Early films.
It was Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Interesting.
They come up because it was the first time they had like Klingons as like a main character in a movie, and they wanted something richer to be able to, so that's when they started working on the language, was for that. They backtracked and used the words that they said in Star Trek 1, the motion picture as well, because I think there was some Klingon in that as well, but that was just Klingon gibberish, but they sort of retrospectively put that in there as well. And then they built it through TNG.
Nice.
Yeah. But yes, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock is when it started. So, answers to the questions. We've got most answers in now. I don't think Stuplum's answered, so he might be missing out on this one. But Mickey got it right with a fork. Andrew got it right with the strange-looking fork. And G-Star got it right with a fork you too, Mickey. He says it's a trident, not a fork. But
so
it is
how many points was that question?
That was 40 points. We'll just go up 20s. Yeah. Stu Plum did not know.
So that's 60 points to G-Star and Andrew, 40 for Mickey, and 20 for Stu Plum.
Stu Plum had no forking idea. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird looking thing. It's the thing that Guinan stabbed Q in the hand with.
Yeah. I didn't realise they had whole sets of them, though. We've only seen them singularly before,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
But they all had one.
They're weird looking things. They look lethal. I wouldn't want to put one in my mouth.
Yeah.
But there you go. Okay, Act 2. Kern tells him that when their family went to Kittimer, he was only a year old, so he stayed with the father's friend, Lore. So he escaped the massacre. Worf tells Kern that the Starfleet officer that rescued him told him that he was told by the High Council that he had no living relatives. Lorg raised Kern as his own, and when Kern reached Age of Ascension, he was told the truth about his bloodline. Kern has sought Worf out because their father, Mogh, has been accused of treason by the Klingon High Council, and as the eldest, it's Worf's duty to challenge that judgment. Worf goes to Picard and tells him how his father's been accused of aiding Romulans in the attack of Klingon outpost. The charge has been brought by Duras, son of Mogh's greatest rival. Worf's family name will be disgraced for 7 generations, and if he fails in his challenge, he will be executed. Sounds a little drastic.
Duras, that Patak.
Oh, he's a Patak. Picard denies his request. Yeah, so he requests leave to go sort it out. Picard's like, denied. No,
Because?
it's only right that Worf's captain stand by his side whilst the challenge is made. So he heads out to the bridge and tells Kern to set course for the first city of the Klingon Imperial Empire. Kern looks very proud. And it must be nice just to have like a family dispute and have to go to court and have the Federation flagship divert from its actual Starfleet mission and go to your homeworld to help you sort it out.
Yeah. That's some kind of backup he's got.
Yeah. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. Yeah, it's not many people that can call upon the flagship or the Federation for your own personal issues.
And Picard, he said the Imperial Empire there, which is redundant because Imperial means relating to an empire. So the empire-y type of empire.
It's not often you set course for a city either.
No.
And that is because Kronos, the capital of the Klingon Empire, wasn't given a name yet. It's not given a name until Star Trek VI, which I think's in pre-production at this time, and they didn't know what the name was going to be settled on, so they just called it the first city. That's the only. I think that's the only mention of what they call the planet, the city, or whatever. It's just the first city. So that's the homeworld, right? Kronos. Yeah.
And previously, like in the original series, they referred to. In fact, no, it was in. Oh yeah, it was named in Undiscovered Country, right? But previously, they've talked about a place called Kling.
Kling in the 60s Star Trek, I think they did. They called it Kling.
They were Klingons from Kling.
Klingons from Kling.
So it's never really been sort of clarified what Kling was, although some people have, surmised that maybe there is actually a city called Kling on Kronos somewhere, but don't know.
But yeah, when you read like the Wikipedia entry for this episode or the memory of or whatever, they all refer to the fact that they're going to Kronos, even though that wasn't actually named or mentioned in this episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. Later, Kern talks to Worf in 10 Forward and asks to be his Chadich, which is basically the right-hand man of the person bringing the challenge who would fight on his behalf, as the person bringing the challenge is not allowed to fight themselves. Worf agrees, but tells him not to reveal his true bloodline. Kern objects, but Worf tells him that on the Enterprise, he is superior, and Worf obeys. But in the Council, Kern is his Chadich, and he will obey. So Kern agrees with a... Right, now here we go. He agrees with a... Jelashnesh Jichget Jigar Majej. I've been looking forward to saying that.
I'm sure you have.
Jelashnesh Jichget Judge Majej. Which is, I accept with honor, may your enemies tremble before you. Yeah.
Very well done.
Yep. They arrive at the first city. And who initially beams down? That's your question 3 there. They arrive at Quonos, the first city. Who initially beams down? There you go. That's your question 3. Answers in chat. What?
I've seen better forks out of a Chinese takeaway. Mickey says pictures.
Oh. Well done, Mickey. You're all on the ball.
Yeah, that whole set is pretty good. The Klingon sort of whatever it is thingy room. Sorry, I've lost where it is. The design of the Klingon Great Hall and other sets in this episode. They won Emmy Award for Best Direction for Star Trek Next Generation Productions designer Richard James. And the exterior of the Great Hall, the first city, was a matte painting by Sid Dutton from Illusion Arts. But what I was going to say was I think I've got it here somewhere, the actual set was from that previous episode. What was it called? Oh, God. You should know. You've probably looked this up, haven't you? Built off the large Tanuga 4 research station set from A Matter of Perspective.
I might have some pictures. So there we go. There's Kern asking to be the Chadich, and that is there's the first city of Quonos. For the Blu-ray version, they did touch up some things, including redoing the sky with more layered lightning effects and things, which just made the whole thing look more cinematic. Slightly darker, slightly more lightning. It does look better, but it's the same, exactly same matte painting. Still looks the same. I do have some additional pictures to show you, right? Because I knew this was going to come up. So, here we go. So this is the research station you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And if you see those windows there, that wall, where they beam down to the Great Hall. I've lost it. There you go. They beam down here in front of that thing there. And you can see those windows here. And that pattern there, that wall was reused from Deja Q. You can see the pattern over here. Yeah. But it's got red lights behind it. So they use this wall and the research station, put those, like they do, like Kit Bash, their sets, and that's how you end up with this set here. And just that was the original matte painting, and this is how it looks now. And they redid the sky and touched some things up, but it's the same matte painting.
And there were people walking about in the windows and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there were originally. That was already there. Cool. But they did improve the background of the background in a way. There's another backdrop from A Matter of Perspective. The quarters, and you can see the quarters in the background there. So they used a number of like bits of sets from A Matter of Perspective to make up the Great Hall. Yeah. And that was that.
Cool. G-Star's off. Got to go film. He said he sent his scores to you.
Oh, was he?
He wants to keep me in the dark.
I'll wait until the end then. I'll wait until the end to look at your score. All right, there we go. Back to where we were.
Apparently, as well, in an interview, Michael Dorn revealed that this episode completely changed his perception of Worf and influenced how he played him from this point on. I think it was that exposure to, he sort of really started to understand about Klingon loyalty and honor and that kind of thing. And he said that, it had more impact than the writers even realized. They didn't necessarily give it all its due from that perspective, but the audience and Michael Dorn himself started to see Worf in a different light. So he played him differently ever since. So yeah, pretty cool, I thought. Impactful from that perspective.
We got answers in from Andrew, Mickey.
Stu Plum keeps retracting his answers.
We'll give him another go. We'll give him another go.
Stu Plum. You
And
don't have to worry if you type typos. Nobody cares.
Yeah. They beam down. Worf steps forward in the hall after they all take their places and announces his challenge, starting with his famous declaration, "I am Worf, son of Mogh." And it's a phrase he uses many times.
It was kind of more like son of Mogh.
Mogh. I am Worf, son of Mogh.
Definitely pronounces it slightly different later on.
Yeah, Mogh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the end of Act 2. Stu Plum, get your answer in there. I'll pour myself a wine whilst you tap out your latest your latest prose.
So Charles
Anything else from that?
Cooper, who plays Kimpek,
Yeah. Star Trek 5.
The Final Frontier, played Cord.
Cord. Yeah, General Cord.
Yeah. And there was something about what he was wearing. The over-shoulder cloak with the medals that Kimpek wore was the same cloak as General Cord. So not only did he play a different character, he wore the same clothes.
He did. All the same
originality
medals.
there.
No, he had different head bumps.
Oh, right.
He had different head bumps. But yeah, same outfit. Also, that actor, I know him from another film that's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, and that is Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer, who plays a guy who's come back from, I don't know, Vietnam or something, and he lost his sight, and so and ended up living with the natives and learning
martial arts.
to use martial arts and a staff. He comes back and kicks
I haven't
butt.
watched that in a really long time.
It's a great film. It's really enjoyable, good film. So if you haven't seen it, it's a not a particularly well-known film, Blind Fury, and the guy that plays General Cord or MPEC, he's a bad guy in it. So there you go. Makes me, whenever I see him, it makes me think of Blind Fury. Yeah.
Stu Plum has answered the question. Mickey says, why is it always so dark on the Klingon ships and on their planet? Then Stu Plum says, bloody autocorrection. And then Mickey says, are they like gremlins and don't like bright lights? That could well be the case. I mean, Cardassians, for example, they don't like bright lights. So Garak, when he's sort of, this is a Cardassian for those who don't know Mickey, Garak, the Cardassian who's sort of stuck on a Federation-owned space station, he says like the lights are almost like torture to him, so bright, because that's not what he's used to in his normal environment, and also he's used to a different temperature. So perhaps Klingons are the same. Perhaps they have greater sensitivity to light.
Never is mentioned, I don't think. I don't think that's ever mentioned anywhere.
Would make sense, though.
It would make sense. It would make sense.
Either that or they just think it looks cooler.
Yeah. So Andrew's gone with Worf, Kern, Picard, and Riker. Mickey's gone with the two bros, Captain P and Riker. Stu Plum's gone with Picard, Worf, Kern, and Riker. So everyone's got it right.
And I would have said the same thing.
Yeah. I was thinking with that question, people might have forgotten Riker. Because he never really said anything. He didn't say anything. He went down to begin with, and then he never went down again when he went back up. So I thought people might forget Riker was there. But
was that
you didn't,
60 points each?
Yeah, that's 60 points each.
G-Star didn't answer, did he?
No, and he's gone. I think
80, 100. So Andrew's in the lead with 120 points, followed by Mickey with 100 and Stuplum on 80.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to check out Kern. Yeah, he's the
Candyman.
Kern's the Candyman.
Yeah.
So you ever seen not the new Candyman? I think he's in that one as well, actually. But yeah, he's the Candyman. Yeah, he's been in actually lots and lots of things.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Kern confirms he is Chadich, but says he's the son of Lord. They hand him a ceremonial dagger, which is nice. Duras accuses Worf of forsaking his heritage, which Worf denies, with the "I am Klingon." They take the piss out of his uniform.
Yeah.
Picard tells Worf Picard tells them Worf has served him with distinction, and Kempek notes that the trust of a commanding officer is admirable, and notes it for the record. But you don't see anyone with a typewriter or anything, you know? How do they record this?
I'm guessing they have computers, right? Like, the Enterprise computer.
Do you get, like, Klingon admin assistants? Like, Klingon secretaries?
Probably somewhere, but they must
that
be
made
like
me think.
the
That made me think.
Untouchables.
Do you get, like
janitors?
Klingon janitors?
I don't know.
Like, cleaning the toilets. I am cleaning the toilet with honor. I don't know. You never see them, do you? Did people have normal jobs?
I mean, there was like that one with isn't there one where like there's like a lawyer guy and he's sort of saying about, well, being a lawyer for the defense isn't normally considered honorable, but I don't know, he talks like more of like a educated person, not like a warrior type, but he's one of the more unusual Klingons with a more unusual kind of job. But you'd think
there's a Klingon chef on the promenade, isn't there?
Yeah.
Who likes to sing
cool.
Klingon opera
and
stuff.
Really cool. So they must, I mean, as a society, they must have.
Yeah. You just only ever think about the warrior side of things, but they must have normal, like, Klingon plumbers. There must be Klingon plumbers around. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Duras goes on to talk about the Kittimer tragedy and blame it all on Worf's father. He gives Worf a good smack across the chops and rips off his sash, as he's not worthy to wear the emblems of their people. He tells Worf he's a fool and will suffer a fool's death. But Worf tells him, it's a good day to die, Duras, but today is not over. Kempek then calls a recess, which I thought was a bit harsh, really. He gives Duras all the time in the world to just tear into Worf, and then when he's finished, goes, that's enough, I think we'll break for lunch now. It's like, oh. Yeah. Picard's pretty worried, though, at what he just witnessed, so goes back to the Enterprise and gets his best research team, i.e. Data, to look into the Kittimer incident and see what he can find out. And he goes to his ready room to research Klingon law. Back on the planet, Chancellor Kempek speaks with Worf and tells him he shouldn't have brought the challenge, as the court's decision would have not affected his life in the Federation. He tells Worf to go back to his life. The challenge will be forgotten. Which all this confuses Worf because it's not very Klingon.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it's the first sort of indication that something's not quite right. They don't want him poking around. There's clearly more going on here.
You got to remember that this Kempek as well, I mean, they call him Chancellor, but that means he's effectively the head of the Klingon Empire.
Yeah.
This is not just
act like it.
This is not like this room and this guy is not just like
that's like the Queen taking
a judge.
Your side.
Yeah. This is the guy that's in charge of the entire Klingon Empire, and he's just just chatting to him in a corridor. I don't know how many planets are in the Klingon Empire, but he's a pretty big deal.
I think his office would be larger, right?
You would think, and the chamber you'd think would be a bit bigger or more grand than the little room, but yeah, that's who he is.
All they had space for on the set.
That's all they had. That's all they had. Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile, Kern gets called away with a message to meet someone, and he gets ambushed by Duros, who knows who Kern is. Uh-oh. He too tries to convince Kern to leave the challenge, but Kern refuses. So goons come out of the shadows. They have a scuffle, and they stab him. In the past shows, we've learnt that the Klingon knife, the standard Klingon knife, is called a dukta.
Dukta, that's it.
But Kern was stabbed by an assassin's knife. What's that called? Ooh. And that's question number 4. What type of knife was he stabbed by? An assassin's knife, but what's it called?
And
this is a very difficult question.
Assassin's knife. It was one of the items that was sold off in the It's a Wrap sale and auction on eBay.
Oh, how much did it go for?
Don't know how much it went for, though, unfortunately. There's quite a few things that are along these sort of notes that have said things were sold off in the It's a Wrap sale, but they never say the price, unfortunately. Sad times. This episode is listed as one of the 10 essential episodes in the reference book Star Trek 101. And this is sort of like just a minor goof, I guess, but as Worf enters the Great Hall, he's got his sash on properly, and then at that bit where Duras like hits him in the face and pulls his sash off him, you can see it's already been undone, and it's just sort of sitting on him really loosely, like it's not even fastened at the back, because when he gets hit, like you can see it's just sort of hanging. So then when it rips off, it's already been undone. So that was a little bit sloppy.
Is there any other bits and pieces for that?
Not for the minute, no, I don't think.
No. Okay. We've got some answers coming in. Let's have a look.
Camful of hooch from Mickey. Kit Looch from Andrew.
Right, we got anything from Stu Plum?
Not yet.
Stu Plum's battling with his keyboard or his thumbs on his phone.
He's playing Thumb Wars like all on his own.
Yeah.
Are there any other pictures, or are we on the right?
Oh, pictures? Probably. There is them standing. As you can see, the size of the Great Hall of the Klingon Empire here. It's a little bit bigger than my studio office here.
It still looks good, though.
It does look good. I like the red Klingon symbol, because the Klingon symbol is usually like blue, green, and yellow. But they decided to do it red on a black background and make it like red and black. Pretty cool. And I think it's stylized. It looks good, It would look cheesy with the traditional colours.
Episode 1 Emmys, but I think it got 2 different Emmys, if I'm reading my notes right. It got an Emmy for Outstanding Art Direction for Richard James and Jim Mees for set decoration. And then it also got... Where's my... something else. I don't know. I think it got another Emmy, but I might be wrong. Can't find it. But yeah, they basically... So, Les Lando was saying that, there was this massive opportunity to explore the Klingon world and, really understand its meaning and such like. They obviously came up with a story, and then the art director and such, like, they had to visualize that in terms of set design. And then they also had Marvin Rush, the cameraman, who sort of visualized the visual perception of what it was all going to be about. And those three together really accomplished this task, and went on to win Emmys for it, which they were super proud of. But yeah, they think it's, visually one of the most dynamic episodes, looking that sort of feature filmish in style. But yeah, they spent a lot of time discussing it, all the details and conceptualizing, which is pretty cool, I thought.
Very cool. Here we see Kern lying in sick bay with a worried-looking Doc. Just a note on the scanner, got extra panels and buttons in this episode. That's not normally there, that bit.
And the thing is, like, he was stabbed by an assassin. He was stabbed by an assassin, but, frankly, they obviously didn't do a very good job, right? She's like, oh, it's a nasty wound, but, he's healing super fast, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what kind of assassins are they? Klingons are supposed to be really great at killing people at the best of times. If you're an assassin, it's literally supposed to be your bread and butter. Why wouldn't you finish somebody off properly? Egypt.
Later on, they can't take out a single 55-year-old human, so,
Yeah, that's true. That's very
They're not the greatest. They're not that great.
Worst assassins ever.
Worst. The worst. Okay, so Andrew's gone with Kit Looch. Mickey's gone with Can Full of Hooch. Stuplum's gone with Cut Lunch. But he says it was Cut Lutch in his notes. So Mickey said if lunch, Cuts Lunch and Can Full of Hooch, we could have a good meal. But yeah, it was Cut Lutch. Cut Looch. That was in Stuplum's notes. But I don't know. I mean, I'm quite happy to give it to all of you, to be honest.
Yeah, good efforts all round. That was 80 points efforts for that question, was it?
80, yeah.
So
but yes, very good, Andrew, for
Andrew.
Coming up with it, with the even with the poor spelling, pulling it out of your head there.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
Can
good.
Full of Hooch, that's a bit of a stretch, right?
That's a bit of a stretch.
but, you get the points for the humour as well.
But you made me chuckle, so that's,
So we've got Andrew on 200, Mickey on 180, Stuplum on 160.
Just, if you want to see the difference, there's a Dukta, the standard Klingon knife. And there is a Cutletch.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, Assassin's Blade. It doesn't have the little flicky out bits.
No.
It's just it goes straight in. And with a bleeder as well. Generally with the bleeder on the... That's what the little gap down the middle's for.
Do you know, I should have thought about this maybe 6 months ago. I could have got everybody to contribute towards it for my birthday present. Maybe I'll do this next year. But I'd really love a batleth.
Well, who wouldn't like a batleth?
I know, that'd be so cool, right?
That'd be pretty cool. Right, we'll make a note of that for next year. There you go.
There's this guy on eBay who makes them. He just sort of cuts it out of sheet metal. I don't think they're properly finished or whatever, but they look pretty good.
Yeah, that'll do. I've got to get my picture back. There we go. There we are. So that's where we're at. I think. Yes. So we're into Act 4. Yes. They get Kern to sickbay as we see her and the doc stabilizes him. Worf thinks it should be better to have let him die because now Duras knows his true identity. They will both be killed when he loses. It's a bit of a defeatist. On the bridge, Data's found some gaps in the transmission logs between Starfleet's version and the Klingons' version. It shows that the Klingon version has been tampered with. Worf tells Picard about his conversation with Kempak and says he couldn't believe the words that were coming out of the Klingon's mouth. If it was true, his enemy is not just Duras, but the High Council itself. He chooses Picard as his new Chedich. Picard's like, nah. You're right. He's like, no, honestly, I want... Oh, okay. So he's honoured, and he accepts it with the traditional Jelashnesh Jichget Jegmajej.
And did you? Oh, where is it? I've got it here somewhere. Apparently, comment. Originally they were going to have Picard just say like a single Klingon word,
All right.
but Patrick Stewart thought it'd be good if he knew the whole line of the ritual. So they went back and wrote the line for them to say, and had Picard say it as well as Karen say it earlier on.
What? Jalash Nash get Jigmajish?
Yeah. That's the puppy.
That's the one.
I thought it was quite cool how that actually came from Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
As an idea. It's nice
very
that they
good.
listened to them.
So they beam back down to the court chamber, and Worf gives his speech, saying he will proceed despite a trap being set for his Jadich by a coward. Duras gets annoyed at being called a coward, so goes to protest, which he goes for Worf, which gives the game away a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, "How dare you?
Don't you call me a cow? Oh, right. Oh, I didn't do it.
Whoops. Whoopsies." Made me laugh. Duras really is a twit.
Yes.
Yeah. Picard steps forward as Jadich, and Duras mocks him, saying, "You wouldn't be able to fight. Starfleet doesn't teach fighting." But Picard coldly tells him, "You can test that theory any time you want." And that shuts Duras up. They give Picard a ceremonial dagger, which is nice. On the bridge. It didn't help. The last Chadich, but yeah, they give it to him. Yeah. He thought it would be. Andrew says he thought it'd be an awkward moment for Patrick Stewart.
I thought he was forced to learn those lines.
Yes.
Apparently, it was his idea. They came up with it at like the Golden Globes or some kind of awards, the Saturn Awards. Was when they were sort of the award show, and Patrick came up with the idea.
On the bridge, Bev's found another survivor of the Khitomer massacre, who was found with Worf. But what was her name? That was question 5.
Oh, that's an easy one.
What's the name of the survivor that was found with Worf at Khitomer?
There was a little goofy as well. Not that anybody could have seen it unless they paused the screen and really squinted and tried to read what it said. But, there was that screen that she sort of brought up on the bridge with the information about this person. And she said that they were transferred to the Intrepid on Starbase 24. Well, the screen actually says Starbase 23. And the other thing is that the Intrepids... Where is it? The USS Intrepid, the captain of it is named Drew Dayam, which is the name of the person who originally wrote at least the half of this original episode.
The original, yeah.
So they named it after he. Is it? It's definitely a female, is it?
I think it was a female.
Right.
I think.
Cool.
I might be wrong.
And apparently this is the first episode to acknowledge Dr. Crusher's middle name of C. Middle initial, C. But I don't even know where that was seen, whether that was on a screen at some point or I'm not even sure.
Don't remember it. I don't remember it being used.
Nor do I. I'm guessing it was written in some text somewhere.
Anyway, this person, who we're not naming for a moment as you get your answers in, she was taken back to her home. Which is nicer. And they have found her. They found her. She resides now in the old quarters of the First City. Riker informs Picard on the planet, who then calls a recess. He asks Worf about this person, who remembers she was his nurse. Picard wants to go find her. Worf thinks it's too dangerous, but Picard's like, "Hey, I'm your Jadich." And that was the end of Act 5. Yeah. So we got some answers.
Yeah.
Mickey doesn't remember. He's sticking to his not copying.
Yeah, good for you, Mickey.
Good for you. Stu Plum, and is that everyone? I think that's everyone,
I think
isn't it?
so, yeah.
Yes, and you guys are correct. It is, however you spell it, Kahlest.
Which is probably a feminine version of Kahless, the name of the revered Klingon founding father.
Yes, they are kind of Washington, or yeah, I don't know. Yeah, their founding father, Kahless. Sounds the same, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's only if you particularly pronounce the T at the end that you can even tell.
I probably need to move the picture on.
Oh, that's just about right.
There's Picard looking through the old quarter for Kahlest. I think he's just about to go into her dwelling.
Yep.
There we go. So that's, what was that, 100 points?
Oh. Points. That's a good point.
Points,
100
in
for
this case,
Plum.
doesn't mean prizes.
Yeah, that is 100 points we're on now.
Yeah.
100 for Stu Plum, 100 for Andrew. So Andrew is on 300, Stu Plum is on 260, and Mickey is on 180.
Yep. With just one question, 120-point question to go. Yeah, because we're into the last act. We're nearly there already.
Lars Darked.
The last one. Act 5. So here we see Picard visiting Kahlest, who informs him that part of her life has now ended. It ended with the Khitomer massacre. She refuses to help, but tells Picard that Mogh was loyal to the Emperor, and that it was he who suspected someone was plotting with the Romulans and followed them to Khitomer. She tells him to leave, and he does, and outside he's jumped by the 2 assassins. Picard gets one of them in the stomach, but then the other one's about to kill him when Kahlest stabs him in the back. She tells Picard that he's a good Jadich, and that Kempek will remember her as she caught his eye when she was younger. But he was too fat. She agrees to go with him. In the council chamber, Kempek's about to pronounce Worf guilty when Picard enters with Kahlest, saying they have new evidence. Kempek recognises Kahlest and shouts for a recess without opening his mouth.
Yes.
I noticed that one.
Yeah.
I had to play that one a couple of times.
Yeah.
He goes like this. He goes like to everyone, get out, but his mouth doesn't move.
Yeah.
He roars it as well. Which,
Yeah, he says something in Klingon. It's supposed to be like, in my chambers. But yeah.
yeah. Oh, we've got a little bit
Clearly
of time to go.
bad audio visual sync thingy going on. And
Yeah.
with this sort of the fight outside, well, actually, no, when he was talking to Kahlest, she said Mogh was loyal to the Emperor. So that's a little bit of an error. So we've got the, what's it called? Like the Chancellor of the Council or whatever. But actually, there has been no Emperor for over 300 years. So she might have meant loyal to the Empire. Perhaps that it was just said wrongly, but there definitely was no Emperor, so that was a bit of an error. Although that fact I don't think is established until Rightful Heir. So yeah, I mean maybe they didn't realize, or maybe she got the line wrong. Don't know, but either way, it's a bit of an error.
They just haven't established it yet, have they? I mean, they call it an
Yeah.
empire, and usually if you've got an empire, you
There's
need an emperor.
Yeah, and I mean, this bit of continuity is kind of wrong in a way, but they're pointing out that, Picard gets like a great big smack across his face. And then for the whole of the rest of the thing, the bruise is on the other side. But actually, when he gets the smack on his face and you see his head go, there's already a bruise on the other side. So it's almost like the fight sequence was, part of it was cut or edited out. And the bit where he got the hit on the other side of his face didn't happen, but that's the only one that actually seemed to bruise. So it looks like they put the makeup on the wrong side, but I think it was just because he also got hit on that side. But
They just cut that bit out.
yeah, I believe so.
In Kempek's private chamber, Picard demands that she can testify in open court in accordance with Klingon law, but Duros says he will kill her before she can testify, again not being subtle about his own treachery. It's like, oh, that guy. But Kempek's had enough with him. He's incensed and silences him by asking, would he kill an old woman to cover up his own dishonor? And clink, finally, Picard sees the whole procedure for what it is, a complete farce. Something dreamt up to protect Duras from being dishonored for his own father's treachery. Kempek tells Kahless that she can go, but that it was good to see her again. She tells him he's still fat, which wipes the smile off his face. Kempek tells them that the warrior clans were expecting someone to pay for the massacre, and only the council knew it was Duras' father's codes that were used, so they decided to pin it all on Worf. They didn't expect him to leave his Starfleet life and come and fight it, and they didn't know there was another son of Mogh. Picard's incensed at what this says about the Empire that supposedly holds honour so dear. But Kempek says the Empire will not be destroyed by one family's honour, which is ironic because it's all going over all this is going on because of one family's honour. Mm-hmm. So, just trading one family's honour for another family's honour. Anyway, Picard finds it unacceptable. And now, not just as Chidich, but as captain of the USS Enterprise and Worf's superior officer, he refuses to allow Worf to be executed and will not hand over Khan. Kempek threatens to end the alliance with the Federation. But Picard retorts that...
escalating.
Yeah, it's escalating pretty quick in this room. Picard retorts that the alliance is not based on lies. If they want to protect their secrets, then so be it. But Picard will not allow them to sacrifice these two men. Then, surprising everyone, Worf volunteers to die for the sake of the Empire. Picard's like, what? Picard protests, but Worf tells his Chidich, be silent! Chidich. Worf turns.
Pretty cool seeing Worf say that to his captain.
Yeah. He yells at him.
To be fair, Picard takes it, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, crap, I'm Chidich here, aren't I suppose? Worf, in turn, for his sacrifice, wants Kern's life spared. Duras, the prick, says that's unacceptable. He's such a prick. Worf then gives another option of accepting discommendation instead, which to Klingon is worse. Kempek agrees. He really likes that idea. So they leave, but not before Worf gives Duras a good slap. But does he slap Duras' left or right cheek?
Ooh, is that your final question?
That's the final question, number 6. What cheek does Worf slap? He gives him a good backhander.
His left cheek, his right cheek, or his, I'm not going to say final front cheek, I'm going to say his butt cheek.
His butt cheek. Did he slap him on the butt? I don't think he did.
No.
I think he wanted to do a little bit more than...
Stu Plum said maybe it was a transfacial bruise. I don't know what that means, whether like you slap somebody so hard like the other side of the face just pops out in a bruise, or whether it's a bruise that kind of transports from one part of your face to another. I don't know.
So yeah, Kern is a bit confused when Picard tells him what's going on as to why Worf has chosen this, but Picard explains that it's for future storylines. That's what I thought. That's my best line in my whole script. I was proud of that one. In the council, the Klingons all turn their back on Worf one at a time, including Kern at Worf's insistence. And Picard and Worf leave. And that's the end of the episode. So, on one hand, Worf and Kern could have been publicly executed. On the other hand, they could have the council all turn their backs on them. And that's the worst option. Klingons, man. They're strange people.
They are strange people.
Yeah.
this was the only episode where Duras's father, Jarod, is actually named. I mean, they talk a lot about Duras in, future episodes and things, but never about his father and the dishonor.
I didn't actually get his name, so I didn't mention it.
Jarod.
I couldn't remember it. No. Gerald. Yeah. Did I? I don't think I mentioned his name.
I don't think so.
No. No, I didn't.
So, yeah, there's a bit where Worf says something like, he calls him a name and then says something like, oh, he belongs, like, I don't know, eating dirt off the ground or something. Anyway, but the word he uses is a Klingon word which is supposed to mean animal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be hadiba, but he says habida, which apparently is also the same mistake is made by another actor later in Reunion, where they say habida instead of hadiba.
Hadiba.
So yeah, it's apparently a commonly mispronounced Klingon word, even by Klingons. So I think, you just alluded to there about, it would be a continuing story arc. And like Michael Moore said this, Michael Moore, that's wrong, Ronald D. Moore, isn't it?
Ronald D. Moore.
Saw this episode as a turning point towards more continuous story arcs. And, that was all really like a big decision about how to tie up this episode and what to do at the ending. So when they, make Worf accept that dishonor, they know that there's going to be this sort of, wow, things have changed for Worf. What's going to happen? There's a continuing story. There's got to be a part where, he kind of tries to get his honor back and all that kind of stuff. And, they said that it basically was a bit of a paradigm shift for the whole franchise around the idea that maybe they could do some continuing story arcs and things like that. So it was a real pivotal moment around how they structured the Next Generation and thought about, the storytelling and not just being so episodic, but having, those sort of longer arcs as well, which I thought was pretty cool.
It's the fact that, an episode can have an effect on future, they just haven't done any of that. It's kind of like each episode's a reset, isn't it? And we join the crew the next week as though they haven't been through any traumas, but now it's getting to that point where they're like, actually, we could carry some things on, which is nice, and it just makes it richer, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So we learn in this some important points about Worf. Is he's gone from just being a random kid who was found at the Kittimer massacre to being the son of someone who must have been pretty important in the Klingon Empire, because he was friends with the Chancellor. His family was a high status family. He's a part of the sort of leader structure of his people. And he's now the episode that we find out all this, that he's actually a big deal. He gets all that taken away from him.
It was like quite sweet at the end, obviously, with Kern, and he's like, "You've got to turn your back on me, buddy." And even then, as you the camera sort of pans back a little bit, and as you see them leaving the chamber, you just see like nobody else moves, but Kern's head kind of like drops. It like hangs almost in shame or sadness. So I thought that was a nice little touch. Again, just Tony Todd with his, thoughtful acting.
Yeah. So there we go. That was the end of that episode. And for the answers in chat, we've got Mickey with left, Andrew taking a gamble with the left cheek, and Stuplum with the left. So they've all gone southpaw.
So that means there's going to be no change to the scores. I almost hoped that somebody would go different just in case. Are they all right or all wrong?
They are all right.
Right.
They're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that puts Andrew as the winner on 420 points. Stuplum on 380 points. So pretty close come the end.
Pretty
and
close.
Mickey on 300 points. Pretty good scores all round.
Pretty good, Mickey, considering you didn't take any notes and you just blasted through the episode. So pretty good effort there, I think. Pretty good effort all round.
we may or may not next week. I don't know if we will or not, but I may not be able to present in 2 weeks' time. So we may open it up next week as to having a guest presenter potentially. But we'll have a think about that.
We'll have a think. If you want to volunteer to come on and help host, if you fancy coming on and chatting about the episode in 2 weeks' time, rather than me just chat to myself, let us know if you want to come on.
Do we make them fight it out in the quiz, or are you going to flip a coin and decide?
I will let anyone come on who wants to come on.
Oh, cool.
If they all want to come on,
to be fair, I may be able to sort of tune in and listen in parts, but I will probably be on a train. So I might not have consistent signal, but I should be able to listen in and chat and comment and stuff. But there's no way I'd be able to maintain a long enough connection to actually do the stream.
Hey, we've learned so much Klingon in this episode today. I haven't actually added anything to our Klingon words.
No.
Should I add one of them to...
Oh, you can do if you want to. I mean, we did do no earlier, didn't we?
Last week it was beloved. Pech. So,
we did
what was
do
it?
no
No.
earlier, didn't we? Because
Coal.
we thought that he was that Stuplum was saying that.
Yeah, let's do that. No.
Coal.
Q apostrophe O, I think.
Q apostrophe O. Cool.
Yeah. Core.
Cool.
Core. Yeah. No.
Did we do yes? Have we done yes?
No.
Can we do yes? And then we know yes and no.
I think yes is... I don't know. I think it's Jayaj. I think. Or that's general, positive reaction.
Jayaj.
That's a guess.
No is...
I remember that from Star Trek 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, next up is your scores. Think about what you want to give this out of 10. And let us know in chat. Did we have... I don't think we had much engagement on the Facebook page today.
No, it's funny. I think, sometimes it sort of gets on people's feeds and then loads of people comment, and then other times it doesn't get onto it, the sort of the news feed, and then nobody comments. But this week was a very no comment week. Last week we had so many people giving like marks out of 10 and comments and stuff. It was crazy. So
no scores from the Facebook side of things.
No.
Okay, so let's see your. We'll get our scores ready, shall we?
Oh yeah, I'm between two scores though. Oh. Do you want to bring up the spreadsheet so I can have a look?
Oh yeah, here you go.
Mickey gives it a 6.
Oh, and I got to put, it was Andrew won today, wasn't it?
Yes.
So Andrew, you get another score. I'll reorder it later, and you'll be in joint bronze position. I've ordered it now.
Silver and blonde.
Yeah, I've ordered it now. Blondes.
Definitely not a blondes.
So that puts Andrew up into a bronze position with you, Maz.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what are we going to give it?
That's right. Yeah.
It?
Confirmed it for me. Thank you. I'm ready. You ready?
Are you ready? I'm ready. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh, a 9. You went. It's a reverse of last week.
Yeah.
What have we got in chat? Mickey's giving it a 6.
6.
Mickey.
Stuplum a 7.
Mickey, Stuplum a 7. Andrew's giving it a 5. Oh my gosh, I'm in shock.
Yeah, I mean, I love this episode. I love Worf episodes, to be fair.
You do love a Worf episode, don't you?
I just thought, yeah, I mean, you're right. We found out so much about his character, so much backstory. And, I think the sets were really good. As we said, it was an Emmy award-winning episode. It was voted number 7. Entertainment Weekly voted at number 7 in their top 10 episodes. And as I said earlier, it was in the sort of top 10 episodes to watch in sort of Star Trek 101 book. So yeah, I think it is like a really, really excellent episode, deserving of
It
the
was
multiple
a
awards.
drama and action. There were fisticuffs in
Yeah,
it.
fisticuffs, like Picard gets
um,
into a scrap. That's always a bit of fun.
Yeah.
There was some off-world stuff, planetscapes and good extra actors. Yeah, I thought it was pretty excellent, really.
And
Mickey didn't really think it was that great, despite there being a kill.
G gives it an 8.
Oh,
as well.
That's surprisingly high for G. He
Yeah,
doesn't normally like Klingon episodes. I thought he was
No.
going to poo-poo all over this episode just to annoy me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, and it sort of sets a lot of things up for future Klingon episodes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
with
a
the whole
massive instigation of a huge arc
Klingon,
that goes on.
which,
for
if you're not into Klingon politics and things, it's it may not be the arc for you, but it does set a lot of things up for the future.
Love it. We can't even see the bar on the graph there because it's a bit too far on the right.
Sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
So
we've rated it, in the 4th position this season, which I think is about right.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Duplin says he meant an 8. He's changed it from a 7 to an 8. Good on you, Duplin.
Yeah. I think,
Mickey said if they turned the lights on, it would have got a 7. Doesn't like all the darkness. I do.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
think
dark.
It just gives that moody sort of. I mean, I love TNG, but sometimes on the ship it is all a bit too.
It's a bit
too
bright.
and.
That's why I like yesterday's Enterprise, where they turn all the lights down. It looks better.
Definitely.
They do it on the films as well. They turn all the lights down.
And they do it on some things like Best of Both
Deep
Worlds and
Space
things like
Nine,
that, like those ones where, there's it's all a bit more eerie or whatever. They tend to sort of dim it and make it a bit more cinematic. Andrew says that the Klingon Empire are basically space Vikings. That's kind of true, yeah.
That is true. That is true. Season 3. TNG.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to do, you did that trailer thing. Would you be able to find the trailer for the next episode?
Of course.
Because rather than describing it, you can play the trailer instead, as Trailblazer suggested, which was a blinking good idea.
I will do that. I will do that forthwith.
Comments left, were there? No, I did all of those. There we go.
Let's see if I can find it.
Well done, Andrew.
Here we
Second
go.
point on the scoreboard.
Share.
Next week's episode. I don't know. I haven't even checked what one it is. Hope it's a good one.
This is next week's episode.
Next time on Star Trek The Next Generation, Captain
Review
Picard
show.
is secretly kidnapped and replaced by an alien imposter,
That's not the captain I know.
while the real captain is trapped with savage prisoners.
We are not the enemy.
The imposter is leading the ship into disaster.
You are endangering this ship for no reason.
On Star Trek The Next Generation.
Funsies. I remember that. That's that. It'll be interesting, like seeing it like that. I think, oh, that's quite a good episode, but I might get into it and go, oh yeah, actually, this isn't such a good one. I don't know. But,
Yeah, I remember that one being a bit of a dull episode. But again,
okay.
it's one of those things, isn't it?
Interesting.
Where sometimes, you find the ones that you think are going to be interesting are duller, and then the ones that you think are going to be dull are interesting.
Mickey says it looks like a good one. Andrew says, love that episode. Yeah, I remember it being a really good one as well. So, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, will they be able to spot the replicant Picard?
Looks like Riker's not too happy with the imposter.
No. Will he go against the chain of command?
Will he try and get Bev to like medically relieve him of duty or something? That's the usual tactic, isn't it? When your captain's acting a bit nuts, try and get him medically relieved of duty.
Get the doctor on side. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, we're pretty much there on this one tonight. Obviously, if anybody wants to come chat to me on my other channel, I'll be playing Fortnite. Hopefully, Mickey will be playing Fortnite with me tomorrow, and we'll be streaming on YouTube and Twitch and all over the place. Yep. And then on Friday, G and myself have got a Monty Zone.
Ooh.
Shall I give you a sneak? I don't think we've got a topic this week. We're just chatting. We're just going to have a chat. But unusually, we're going to try something new for the first time. We're going to do the Monty Zone here together, actually there on the couch.
Nice.
We're going to sit on the couch and, have a chat. I don't know how it's going to work, but G wants to try us doing it together. So, we're going to give it a go. So that'll be us with a beer on the couch, chatting to you on Friday about whatever you want to talk about.
Don't do too much drinking together on Friday night because you got to get your throwing arm ready for Saturday.
We're going axe throwing on Saturday. What could possibly go wrong
with that?
No. I'm quite looking forward to that. That's good. I've never done an axe throwing before. So,
super looking forward to it.
Yeah. So
we're going to be Vikings. We're going to be like Klingons.
We're going to be Vikings. We're going to be Klingons. Yes. I am Klingon. You've seen these on YouTube videos of them going in and then like popping back out again and flying backwards. I just see that happening to me because I'm a little accident prone, you know.
You are a bit, but I'm sure it's all very safe.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So yeah, Fortnite live stream tomorrow. Monty Zone. Oh, shall I give a sneak preview? I've redone the Monty Zone logo again. Not this is the most interesting thing for you guys, but I'll give you a sneak peek of the there you go, the new Monty Zone logo. I just wanted to get chat's reaction to the this is what's going to appear on the website and on the banner of the YouTube channel, and I'm going to redo the intro sequence for the Monty Zone. But yeah, the new logo and new branding for the Monty Zone.
Pretty cool to me.
Looking good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, there we go.
How did you design that font yourself? Oh, Mickey's only just realised that the cat face is morphing into an alien. It's always been that way, you know, Mickey.
Yeah.
It's always been half cat, half alien. But
it's my standard Lynx
and,
face.
The red sort of ring around it and stuff was what changed.
Yeah. No, I like. Yeah, that's the thing for that. It's my Fortnite Lynx face. But in the Monty Zone, it's morphing into an alien. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
About that
Friday.
Font. Did you just design that font yourself, or
the font? No, the font is called Air Cruiser, and actually, it's the font. It's a range of fonts, but it's the font that's used for Airwolf.
I was going to say it had almost like a Marvel comic kind of. I don't know. It looked vaguely familiar for some reason, but maybe that was just the 80s kid in me remembering Airwolf.
There is. I don't use the exact one that they use in Airwolf, but Air Cruiser. There's a range of different types of fonts, and there's one with the lines through it, and that's the Airwolf font. I don't use that particular one, but it is in the range of Air Cruiser fonts, which is the Airwolf fonts.
Nice.
Yeah. There we go. Interesting.
Yeah.
Or not?
Well, I did wonder because I know you can design fonts, right? You can make your own.
You
fonts
can.
And stuff.
You can make.
So I just
your own
wondered
fonts,
where you got that one from. It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for joining. Thanks, Mickey, for coming along this evening. I hope your aches and pains are not as bad now. And I hope you have a nice rest of your week. Andrew, thank you for coming along again. Both you guys, if you fancy coming in and standing in for Maz in 2 weeks' time, think about it. That would be great. Thanks, Stu Plum, for always your support. And, of course, my ever-suffering wrench, Smiler Rainbow, and G-Star, who came along, and Trailblazer, who popped by. Thank you, guys.
Ram, everybody. Good night.
Maj Ram to you all. We'll see you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Bye.
Cheers.